I wanted to go into talking about how you create a relationship that lasts. Because a lot of times, y'all think about it. We can get in a relationship, and when we get in that relationship, we're all excited. Our hormones are raging, the dopamine is released, the oxytocin is released, and then the opiates are released, and we feel excited. We get this in love feeling, like I want to be around this person, and every time you see them text, you're excited. Now, if you get to the point where you're not excited anymore, we're going to talk about that too today. But you're excited. You every time they call, y'all having sex every chance you get. You getting it in wherever, in the car, over your friend's house, in the bathroom. You're doing all of these things, and it's great. Okay, it's great because the hormones are raging. And I remember I told you about it's not that your heart is in love. When you have an in love feeling, it is not based on your heart. When you have an in love feeling, it is based on your hormones. Okay? They call it the love cocktail. There is a love cocktail of hormones that are released when you get in a relationship. And so this love cocktail, primarily 3 hormones. Number 1, dopamine. Dopamine, the other one is oxytocin. And then the other one is serotonin, opiates. They're all interchangeable. But when you mix all these hormones together, these hormones make you feel like you're in love. All right, cool. Problem is, that shit don't last. When you're in that quote unquote in love feeling, they call it the passionate love stage. That stage only lasts on average 2.5 years. Okay. Then all of a sudden you get to a point where you begin to notice everything that stuff that you didn't notice before, that was always there. They always communicated the way they do. They always ate the way they do, smacking all the time. They always chew with their mouth open. But all of a sudden, because you felt so good, you didn't notice. Well, then you get to the next stage of love, is what they call the mature stage of love, when you notice the flaws and then you accept the person despite of the flaws. Then you say, I am committed to you regardless of the flaws I see. That's when you get to the mature love stage. Now, so today what we're going to talk about is how we, in my relationship, how I actually got to that stage. Because my wife and I dated a long time. And y'all, I said this yesterday and I said it before. The truth is, I didn't commit for a long time. Was I afraid of commitment? Sure. No, I was more afraid of, like I told you yesterday, I was more afraid of losing my freedom. If you want to understand the difference between that, go back to yesterday's message and I'll explain it to you. But once I decided to commit, we got married. Okay. When we got married, once you get married, you decide, okay, I'm excited. I'm happy about getting married, a new chapter in my life, just like a new relationship. It is no different. Then we went through a stage where we're trying to get to know each other. We doing it a lot, okay? You eating out a lot, you gaining weight a lot. And so I just say to myself, here's what happens. I'm all of a sudden realizing that things about my wife I didn't notice before. Okay, things about me she didn't notice before. And so when you're bringing 2 people together, bringing them in the same environment, then you're trying to figure out, how do I navigate this? Because you do things a certain way, she does things a certain way. Then you're looking like, wait a minute, I don't like the way you do that. I don't like the way you don't wash dishes. Why? I don't like in my family, I don't believe in putting dishes in the drain and leaving them there. Okay, so you might believe something different. Now you're bringing these 2 people together. So that's what happened to us. Long story short, everything was going great. But the truth of the matter is, we started having a rocky road and we were headed to divorce court. And then we turned it all around and our relationship became the relationship of my dreams. And it became the relationship of my wife's dreams. So she says. And so we got there. And so before we wrote this book, I asked my wife, why? I'm going to tell you why we wrote this book. I asked my wife, I said, why do you stay with me. And she said to me, she said, because I love you. I said, no, that's not why you stay with me. Why do you stay with me? I said, not besides love, because 50% of the people who get into a relationship, they get divorced. Now, they loved each other from the beginning. Love is not enough. Love it. So I said, tell me why you stay. Why did you stay when we had the rough patch? And she said this. She began rattling off things. She said, number one, she said, you helped me to be a better person. Number two, when I'm around you, I want to be a better version of myself. Number three, we operate like our relationship like a business. Number four, so she kept saying this stuff. And I said, wait a minute. I realized something. I said, what we've done is, because I used to do corporate training, y'all, all around America, doing corporate trainings on leadership. And I said, what we've done is we have created a culture. Everything you said was a culture that we've created. We've created a culture of personal development. We've created a culture of acting like our business. So like, let me give you an example. Before I make a major purchase, we have a certain dollar limit. I will call my wife and I say, hey, baby, I want to buy this or whatever. What are you thinking? If she is against it, I don't do it. And okay, same thing with her. She was out with her friends one day and she says, y'all, they were out shopping. And her friend said, she says, hold on, let me call Kenny to see if it's all right if I spend this money. And they were like, it's your money? She was like, why? I wouldn't call no man about anything. And what she said was, we have established a culture in our marriage that over a certain dollar amount, we talk about it. And y'all, what happened was so many people ask us, how can I get a relationship like y'all? Because y'all, the one thing we are ourselves. Y'all know I'm myself. I'm loud. I'm obnoxious. My wife accepts me the way that I am. And so we decided to write the book about how do you create culture. So today, for the next few minutes, I've talked a lot. For the next few minutes, I'm going to just talk about how you create a culture. I'm not going to go over all of it. Creating a culture in your relationship is why it lasts. So here's what we did, y'all. We wrote this book based on the most successful companies out there. Now, let me give you an example. Companies like Google, Zappos, well, people stay there. Why do people stay there, y'all? Why do people work there? They stay because the company has created a culture where people don't want to leave. And so I was thinking, I don't care what she do. If she divorced me, I'm leaving too with her. Hey, look, if she leave me, if she separate from me, I'm leaving with her. The truth is, I don't want to leave. So the question is, how do you create a culture in your relationship where the person wants to stay? Y'all, Zappos. If you ever bought shoes from Zappos, anybody on this call ever bought shoes from Zappos? I bought a lot of shoes from Zappos. The thing about Zappos is this. Check this out. Zappos, when you apply for a job there, okay, you got two tests you have to go through. You have to go through the skills test to see if your skills match up to do the job. The other thing is you have a culture test. Now, the culture test works like to see if you fit into the culture of Zappos. If you don't fit in, and you have to pass both tests. If you don't fit into the culture, you cannot get hired. But get this. Here's the most powerful thing when I was doing my research on Zappos. Zappos, at the end of the training, Zappos will offer you, after they give you the job, they will offer you $2,000 to not take the job. Now, y'all, hold on. I've gone through 6 weeks of training, and you say to me, hey, Ken, here's $2,000. We don't want you to take, you can either take the job or the $2,000. Now, I just went through training. I probably need the money because I needed a job. And you offer me $2,000 to leave? Do you know 97% of the people say, keep the money. I want the job. I'd rather stay in this culture. I like this environment. And so today, for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to talk about over the next week how you create cultures in your relationship. But today I want to deal with one or two things. The first thing I want to deal with and how you establish a culture is getting the right fit. When you're dating someone, We do not spend enough time on the right fit. So what Zappos does, what Google does, the reason why they have 2 interviews is so they can get the right fit. Check this out. And this is going to be my lesson for the day. How do you know if the person is the right fit? How do you find out? So I'm going to use Zappos, and I'm going to use the Canion methodology, the Canion culture. I'm going too fast. The Canion culture. So the first thing you want to do is, because you got to determine if to build a culture, you've got to determine if their core value system lines up with your core value system. Because if their core value system doesn't line up with your core value system, it ain't going to work. I often say, attraction will get you. Core values will keep you. Because see, here's the thing. A lot of times when you're attracted to somebody, you will forego the core values. You don't look into the core values. You don't think about the core values because you be like, damn, he fine. Oh, he fine. He got a good job, car, all of that, nice clothes. And he say all the right things. Ooh, girl, you're fine. You're beautiful. How you doing, beautiful? He texts you every morning. How you doing, beautiful? I hope you're having a wonderful day and all of that. And you look past the culture fit. You look past it. So look. Stop that, because what that does is get you in a situation where you are messed up. Attraction will get them, core values keep them. So what you want to do is do what the Canion culture, what our book talks about. Finding out, we're going to do an interview. We're going to call it Zappos style. Okay, so what Zappos does is the first type of interview is they call it the social test. And we wrote this in our book. In the social test, right? The social test, here's what they do. What I want you to do, if you like somebody, bring them around your friends. And get this right here. The social test is bring them around your friends. Put them in a social environment. See how they act. And what you want to do is have what I call a ringer in there. Have a ringer. Your girlfriend or dude that's going to ask them uncomfortable questions. Uncomfortable questions. Questions that make them squirm. Questions like, I mean, it could be anything from, have you ever been bankrupt? When the last time your bank account was in the negative? When the last time you was late on a bill? I don't care what the question is, but you want to see how they're going to react in an environment like that. The social test. Because a lot of times you keep them a secret. You keep them to yourself. You don't want your friends to know because you don't want nobody hitting on it. You don't want this, you don't want that because you ain't sure how this is going to work out. So what you don't do is you don't give them the social test. So you never know if the person is right for your culture. Stop being afraid, y'all, and find out. So the second way that you find out is what we call the nice guy test. The nice guy test. Now, what is the nice guy test? Y'all, here's what you're looking for. Whenever you're with the guy, I want to see how he acts when shit go wrong, when shit go left. How does he act in the restaurant when the food doesn't quite right? When the food isn't quite right, how does he act? Now, if you act irate, you can even test him by acting irate. Why would you sensible and see how he reacts? Because what I'm going to tell you is, even though people put on a front, y'all, even though people want to put their best foot forward, if you wait on it, if you wait on it long enough, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and you're going to see it. There it is. I got it. There it is. I got it. Y'all, because what happens is this. Everybody, every single person wears a mask at first. Every single person wants to put their best foot forward because what you're saying is, look, I don't want to show you the ugly side because the ugly side of me you might not like. So what I'm going to do is put this foot forward. But what I'm going to tell you to do is wait on it. Wait on it. Wait on it. It's coming. It's coming. But what you do is you put these different tests. The third test is what they do. Here's what they do. They call this the service test. The service test is powerful. What you want to do when you're seeing that they're the right fit, I want to see if the person you're willing to date is willing to serve you. Okay, now what I'm saying is you got to be willing to serve too. But what you want to do is you want to find out if your tire is flat. Test the fool. Hey, my tire's flat. See what he does. Or, oh, I can't get out right now from work. I didn't bring my lunch. Don't ask him. You could ask him to do it, but what you want to do is find out if he's willing to serve you. Because anybody that is not willing to serve you, wants to be served, there's an element of selfishness. And I'm just being honest, y'all. But what happens is y'all afraid to ask. Y'all afraid to say. If a fool ain't willing to serve you, if there's some things going on and you need some stuff done, because what we are, men are fixers. We like to fix stuff. That's what we do. We fix stuff. If I'm not willing to fix it for you, you ain't the one for me. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to tell y'all something. Yesterday, I said something to one of my clients that was so powerful. And I want you to hear me, hear my heart. Every time something good in my life has happened, the first person I called was my wife. Now, we weren't even married at the time, but the first person I called when I got on The Biggest Loser, something good, when the first person I called was my wife. She wasn't even my wife at the time, okay? She was my wife, I'm sorry. At the time, she was my wife. But one time, when I got off QVC, I was on QVC, y'all, had sold product, I was so excited, and I called, first person I called was my wife. She wasn't my wife at the time. And she said, she said, did you call your dad? I was like, no. She said, did you call your mom? I said, no. I said, I called you. She said, wow. And yesterday, a revelation came to me. Here's a revelation. A woman, if whoever you call first, if a man calls you when he feels good, you're the woman that he feels good about. See, think about this. If I call you when I'm feeling good, you're the one that I feel good about. So what I'm saying to you is this right here. Is when I called her, it's because I want to share my joy with her. And y'all, if a man isn't willing to share his joy with you, then you might not be the one. And I just threw that in there. The right fit. Because in the right fit, the man is going to want to share his joy with you. Now, I'm saying this. I'm not saying that he doesn't want anything from you. But the final test is simply this. You're with the man. How do you know he's the right fit? It's because of this. A man is willing to give more than he gets. Now, so hear me on this. I might want sex from you, all right? Yes, every man wants, well, most every man, not all, most every man wants sex, right? Let me tell you something. If a woman is down with fulfilling my needs, she wants to fulfill my needs, she wants to be there for me. If a man does not want to give more than he gets, because remember, a man's objective is he wants to make you happy. He wants to create excitement, happiness in your life. Happiness evolves around me giving to you, giving things to you, fulfilling your needs. If I'm always taking, if I'm always asking you to come by my crib and cook, if I'm always asking you, let me hit that, if I'm always calling you at 10 or 11 at night saying, let's get that, then the truth of the matter is, I'm not the right fit. Y'all, I'm not the right fit. And we look past that stuff. We look past it because our hormones are raging. We look past that stuff because he makes me feel good. He calls me beautiful. And we look past that stuff because he slapped me on the ass when I walk by. We look past that stuff because I want to feel good about me because I'm in a relationship. The truth of the matter is, only way you're going to feel good about you is you love you. Leave that fool alone because he ain't the right fit. You need to go until you find the right fit. That's it. What we do is we spend so much time with the wrong fit that we never get to the right fit. That's it, y'all. I'm out for today. I'm Ken Canion, the host of Love, Lust, and Lies. Till tomorrow. I'll see you guys. Have a great day.